Batgirl number 17, Hope Larson writing, Chris Wildgoose on art. This is the final part of Summer of Lies, the Nightwing Batgirl team up that's been kind of like had full of flashbacks back to their early days, taking down a Mad Hatter in relation to this Ainsley character who was getting drugs from him, and we kind of see the wrap up of all this, and this has been kind of a favourite on the show while it's been been running. And I'm happy to say I still feel that way. I like this final issue of it.
Sticks the landing.
It does. I think like ultimately the plot of what happened with Ainsley.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I wasn't as invested in the Red. Like, I didn't care about the Red Queen stuff. I was much more wrapped up in what happened with Ainsley in the past.
But I think that's why it works so well though, because you find out what actually happened was something really normal. Ainsley OD'd and. Like, she didn't, Batgirl couldn't save her in time. Like, she calls the authorities, she gets her help, but, like, it's not enough. She dies, and I actually kind of like that it turns into this more kind of, like, normal story, almost. Obviously, they're in costumes and they're fighting Mad Hatter at times, but...
Well, no, see, that's the thing. I think she did save her life that time. I think
she did.
They mentioned that she OD'd, she was in LA, and it's this idea that she saved her. She did everything she could. She, like, because, Gordon even says to us, like, no, you saved her life. And it's like, yeah, but even that, it wasn't enough. It was only temporary.
Yeah. She didn't actually necessarily like rehabilitate her. She just made calls and things like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because obviously,
and you could tell that it's weighed on Barbara and her character. The fact that
and her sister is obviously still spiteful about it. She's still doing everything she does because of it. I love the fight with Barbara and Mad Hatter because I love Mad Hatter pulling off her goggles. Like, there's something about that image that's just really kind of, I don't know, specific to me.
And some of the best panels in this issue are when it goes to red silhouettes and she's beating on him, and it's the sound effects that do it, because it goes wham wham, and then the third one is crunch.
Yeah, she's finally broken something. It's like thud thud, or then the third one broke the nose, so the crunch. And Dick has to pull her off of him, and he's like, hey, like, you went really far there. But it shows you how much this is affecting her. But I'm not someone who ships things or ships couples by my nature. I'm not a
except
fan
for
of...
this one.
Well, I wouldn't say I ship it per se, but I'm not going to deny that I get feelings from all the interactions that take place here. Whether it's the flashbacks or whether it's when they wake up the next day and he's sleeping on the floor in present day, and she's like, "Oh, you could have just slept in the bed." Like, I know that's. It's like, I broke up with Sean recently, and it feels weird. And, I kind of like that. It felt kind of natural. And that little moment when he pulls her hair because she's put on her costume on and her hair's stuck inside the neck, and he kind of just takes it out for her. It's like, it's still sweet moments.
Yeah, even if it's not romantic, they still do care about each other.
Yeah,
like
chemistry is a big thing, and that works. And even just the idea later on when they fight the Red Queen, she's got all our Roombas, I'm going to call them, or Roombas with legs. And she's fighting with them, and she kind of like possesses Dick for a minute with the drug. Like, it makes him go nuts and think he's the Red King.
The Red King. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, you're calling them Roombas. They call them nanobots. I'm like, I'm not sure these are nano anymore.
Well, I think the idea is that they are the nanobots, but they're big, so they're not nano anymore. They're working the same technology.
They need a new name.
Yeah.
I'm just moving up the scale.
Yeah, but no, I love that when she snaps them out of it, because they're fighting for a bit. And she sort of like connects to them. I'm not going to get into the science here of her using our chip that lets her walk.
Honestly, this is my biggest problem. Not the science of it, but just reminding me that this chip's a thing.
That annoys me.
I forgot.
Brush over.
Let's be honest though, the reason why it angers is because of how Arrow's used it.
Well, not even that though. I think even when they introduced this at the start of the New 52, it's always felt cheap and always been like,
it was cheap.
Get it done.
I think though the reason why it doesn't bother me so much in the comic is because it happened again. It was like we want her to walk again. It happened like before the story started, and it was just like, oh, this is just something that happened in the past.
Which is why I'd prefer them to just never mention it again. Just forget about it. Just pretend
I
agree.
It's
not happened.
She got better, it's fine. But I do actually like that when she sort of makes him remember these flashbacks. It's like it's moments we saw in the earlier issues. So we actually like have this thing, and like he hears her thought bubble even, because like, you thought I was cute, and she sort of smirks and says, yeah, don't tell anyone. Like, it's just a sweet little moment. Like, and I think it kind of sells this idea that this arc works so well because we care about them as a pair. We care about them interacting with each other and their history. And then the story in the past with Ainsley is the one that really tugs at the heartstrings. The present day stuff with the Red Queen's fine, but it's just kind of, goofy comic book villain to fight.
Yeah.
essentially, and that works. But the idea that then he's like got her on his back, and that's how they're fighting her, piggyback style.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
It's a nice touch. It's a nice sort of like, we can work together, and
Master Blaster. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I just you hear them in the past, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not ready to be a couple yet." After he kisses her, but you're not going to leave me, right? Everyone leaves me. Like I've just got my dad and like you now. Like you're not going to go anywhere. And he's like, "No, I promise, I never will." And we end in them, flying through the sky and the grapple hooks at the end of the issue. Just a sweet, sweet Nightwing and Batgirl story, which tugged on my heartstrings.